up, Cyber Realmers? Seeker here with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about a new topic, a topic that might get me canceled or might get people mad at me, but it has to be said. But before then, I just have a question, an important question, and that question is, where the white women at? All right. So recently, I've been thinking, right, and seeing a lot of drama over the video game industry, right, on the internet. And the question is, who is to blame for the state of gaming nowadays? All this woke nonsense, all this, how do you say, microtransactions, this laziness, you know, games being absolutely dog shit for the most part, filled with woke ideology and etc. And that, my dear viewers, is a simple answer. The only people that you can actually blame for this whole issue with gaming current nowadays is the fans themselves. Now, Seeker, why would you say something like that? Why is it the fault of fans? Okay, think about it. A game comes out, right? And it has all this woke, stupid bullshit, and people hate it, right? But what is the first thing you hear when you start complaining about it on YouTube, or you make videos about it, or you make your opinions heard? The first thing that people say, the fan base, is, oh, you should be grateful that at least you got a game. What? Why should I be grateful, right, that I got a shit game? This is like me going to a store, buying a refrigerator, and it doesn't fucking work. So I complain about it, and I call the company and tell them that I want a new one. And the company goes and turns around and tells me, oh, you should be grateful that we at least made you one. It doesn't fucking work. It's not good. It's not a good product. It's not. So why the hell should I be grateful that I got a shitty product at home when I want the product to be good? You want to make money? Make a product that works. That's all I ask. And the fan base seems to be mostly triggered by that, because how dare you not just consume whatever bullshit they want to give you in a video game instead of, you know, things that we want. Attractive women, for example. As you see in the background, that's me currently playing Stellar Blade, right? And Stellar Blade has had controversy because the woman is attractive, because she has revealing costumes and some not so revealing. You know what I mean? And the industry, or rather journalists, have been shitting all over the game, and even gamers as well, in the sense of, oh, well, the character has, you know, an attractive, the character's attractive and she has skimpy outfits. How dare you? If you guys just want to watch adult content, you should go watch it on an adult website. If you want sexy costumes like this. And it's like, no, we want good, attractive characters in our video games. We don't want this woke nonsense. We don't want color washed characters. We don't want, you know, politically correct bullshit in our video games. We want our games to not be lazy. We want our games to actually be, if you're gonna charge us $70 for a fucking game, which is fucking insane, it's also something that fans, you know, just accepted. If you're gonna make me pay $7 for a video game, that game better be good. But instead, most games are just fucking lazy. They look good, but ultimately are shit. And it's like Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 is a downgrade. Mortal Kombat 9 was the best game that they had. Then they started with the woke bullshit in MKX. MKX was all right. Then MK11 comes out, more woke bullshit. MK1 comes out, more woke bullshit. And what does the fan base for this game says? You should be grateful they came out with another game. You just want to watch adult content, so you should just go and watch adult content on the internet. You just want to jack off to these characters, go watch adult content for that. It's like, no, that's not why. If I wanted to do that, I know websites that help me with that. You get what I'm saying? Like, but and honest, and like, you know, jokes aside, you know, we want games to be good. We want attractive females. The females want to be attractive females. The males want to play as attractive males. The females want to play as attractive males. Like, we don't want this political bullshit, but why does it keep being pushed? Because people accept it. Complaining and not doing something about it is accepting it. Telling me that I should be grateful, or that I should go watch adult content, or if I want to, that I just want to touch myself when it comes to sexy female characters. Like, what's up with that shit? Honestly, the prices in video games going up, the quality going down. I'm surprised you don't fucking have to pay a quarter or $1 every time your character walks. Oh, you want your character to walk and jump? Pay $5. And I guarantee you a lot of people would probably accept that too while complaining. So it's not the company, because the company cannot do or force you to do something unless you accept it. It's the same thing with real life issues that people complain about when it comes to this politically correct woke bullshit. Companies and corporations cannot do or force things upon you. The only time they can do that is when you accept it and you do nothing about it except complain. Complaining doesn't do shit. If you complain, and let me put it this way, I'm gonna use relationships as an example. What's the point of complaining, or just life in general? Let's just use life in general. What the hell is the point of complaining about life in general and you don't do a goddamn thing to fix it? It's the same thing with video games. How are you gonna complain that all the video games are woke? Look at Suicide Squad, I can't talk today apparently. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League is a great example. That game should have been fucking amazing, right? And guess what? It's not. And what do people still do? They buy the game, they play the game, you know, buy DLCs and etc. The game is dying, but look at what the fan base that it has. The last time I checked, and you can correct me in the comment section if it changed or I'm wrong. The last time I checked, it had like around 500 and something players still playing the game. That game, the moment it came out and it was like that, with all that nonsense and woke bullshit, you know what it should have done? Everyone should have deleted that game. You know, no one should have bought it. The only people that should have bought it are people who are gonna review the game, so that way you can see the game. That's usually why I personally wait till when the game comes out. I wait so long and then watch reviews and gameplay of people who do reviews and gameplays for video games, because I don't want to waste $70 fucking on a game that's fucking trash or has a political nonsense into it. Just look at Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows look promising, even with Yasuke on it, right? Not a problem. They had Yasuke on it, fine. And they're gonna make him a warrior or whatever that you can play as. Not historically accurate, but that we know so far, because we don't have much details on him as a historical figure in real life. There's not a lot known about him, so we don't know if he fought or not and whatnot, even as a retainer, right? Cool, it's a video game, no problem. Oh, we're gonna make Yasuke and the new girl gay. What? Oh, we're gonna make her look manly because every time a female warrior, every time there's a female warrior, apparently she has to look manly. Even though I literally watched, when I used to watch Netflix shows that had to do with like Asian characters, Korean fantasy characters, or Chinese, Japanese, and etc. Sure, there were some characters that were a little tomboyish, no problem. But almost every female in a video game that's strong and a badass now has to look like a tomboy. Like what? And manly and masculine? No. Most of these female warriors, that if you ever watched an Asian show, like, the live action TV shows where like, you have their gods and, they shoot magic out of their hands and sword play and whatnot. Most of these women are fucking beautiful and attractive. They have different body types in the sense of they're fit, but some of them might have more muscle tone. Some of them, might have a feminine figure, but, not such a big chest. Some of them have big chests. Some of them are sensual. Some of them are tomboyish. Some of them are greedy and evil. Like, they had personality. They look good despite, not showing everything. You know what I'm saying? And the stories were good and captivating. Shit, half the time when I finished the show, I wanted fucking more, but they didn't want to make no more. And it's sad. Because then you're giving companies the right, when you accept their bullshit, because it always starts with a little bit. Always. Oh, it's only a little woke. That's where it always starts. And then it's like Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1 from Insomniac, good game. Little lacking, but good game. Then it started with this woke bullshit. Yeah, you had the BLM stuff with Miles for some goddamn fucking reason, because everyone that's a person of color, like me, and other people that I know, are always gonna fall apparently for that kind of political bullshit. Into that, we're gonna always be in that political group apparently, just because we're the same skin color or whatever, which is nonsense. Because that this is just woke bullshit that they're trying to add to the game to push an agenda. You played and helped the police, which was kind of cool. You know what I mean? In the first game, the thing that I didn't like about the first Spider-Man one was the fact that, for a character who has been Spider-Man for a long time, he didn't really have much to do when it came to powers and abilities. I also didn't like the fact that they tried to basically hold your hand when it came to web swinging. I don't like that. But then Spider-Man 2 comes out, you think it's gonna be a really, really good game. You don't work with the police anymore. They magically disappeared from the game because, some game journalist got triggered because there was a police officer in the game apparently. You have Spider-Man suddenly talking about taking guns away from people. Well, from everyone, because, when a bad person does something, you have to apparently punish the good people as well, because that makes total sense. That's definitely not World War II villain stuff, That's not Stalin stuff. That's not, any historical event where the majority of people have been murked or Minecrafted. And all this other woke shit. Mary Jane's a self-insert. Mary Jane blames you for fucking everything. All this other bullshit and whatnot. It's a long list. I don't feel like talking about everything here. but you get the point. And the moment that happened, I beat the game 100%. You know what I did after that? I was disappointed and I deleted it. And I never, ever again decided to support the game. Ever. And yeah, I made the stupid mistake of buying the game, which is why now I don't automatically buy games. Especially if I know the company is a bunch of woke activist idiots. So now I just wait for the games to come out and then I just watch reviews on them, and if I like it and there's no woke nonsense, then I'll buy it. But yeah, again, these companies only are cocky because we give them money, right? So they think that because they think that suddenly when they pull out a game, suddenly they think that the money that they have came from the sky or some shit, and they forget that essentially we're the reason they have that money. We're the reason that they're rich. We're the reason that they have a good life and all this other bullshit, etc. Let me give you another example. So I don't know if you guys remember the whole Vic Mignogna thing, right? So Vic Mignogna is a voice actor for Dragon Ball Z. He does the voice for Broly. There was a whole controversy where they were falsely accusing him of stuff, and that became a whole thing. And then you had the females that were falsely accusing him, like Jamie Markey. And Jamie Markey was disrespected. She's a voice actor, and she voices plenty of characters, and she's an activist and puts a lot of woke nonsense. Especially if you heard about the whole topic about how Japanese anime was being localized here in America. She was part of that whole woke bullshit, changing dialogues and whatnot for the English audience to add her political narratives and whatnot, which was disgusting. Anyway, so she's disrespecting her fans on Twitter, and I at the time basically called her out on her shit, and I told her, I was like, listen, it's funny that you people act like this, right? You think that you're famous and amazing because, you know, you did that all on your own. And it's like, no, you're where you're at, and you have the money that you have because we pay you. So disrespecting your fan base is not a good idea, because they're the ones keeping you. They're the ones that essentially gave you that status. They're essentially the ones that gave you all that money that you have, because that money has to come from somewhere, and it comes from fans. And I told her, watch, the next Comic-Con you go to, you're gonna have no one because you keep disrespecting your fans. Your line's gonna be empty. So she talked her shit and then blocked me. A couple weeks later, I come back on Twitter and I see that her line is empty, like I said. So I decided to make another Twitter account. And I messaged her and I was like, hey, you remember me? The person that told you off in the comment section because you think that you're amazing and you're better than everyone, especially, you know, with all this Big Mignogna bullshit and your woke ideology. And I was like, remember how I told you that we're the ones that give you money? Look at this video. This is your line this past weekend, and you have no one lining up for you. What did I tell you? We're the reason you have fame. We're the reason you have money. No one else is giving you this money. This money comes from the fact that we buy products that you voice. Because, and other things paid by fans. It stings, doesn't it? You went to a con, you started talking all this shit, and you go to a con to make money because that's what they're there for. These voice actors and whatnot. They're there to make money off of their fans for taking pictures and autographs and whatnot. And you made nothing. Which she replied to and blocked me again. And I just laughed. We are the reason these companies have money. We're the reason these companies have status. We're the reason these companies have whatever, all these things that they have, because we as a fan bought their games. Now, the issue is that they get all cocky and try to force this woke ideology bullshit on us, right? And all we simply have to do is not buy their product. The moment we buy a product, sometimes it happens, we buy a product because we think, oh yeah, they never fucked up and whatnot, or let's give them a second chance. Fine, sure, I guess. The moment that game is woke, the first thing people should have done was get a refund and tell the company, I'm not buying your game or games until you stop this. And if you don't stop it, guess what? I'm going to a different company. Even and if not, guess what? There's indie game devs. The indie game devs aren't woke and they make good products. The issue is that people are so stuck up, people like EA's ass, Insomniac's ass, and other companies with woke ideologies because they're AAA and all this other bullshit. And then we tend to ignore the indie developers who don't do woke shit. Well, the majority of them do. I know there's a company recently that started making some weird dating sim that was woke and shit. And I'm not saying that people can't have, you know, games based on them. Like, I'll use an example. You know, there's LGBT games out there for the LGBT crowd, and that's for them. You know what I mean? There's games for people of color like me, and that's fine. And people, you know, outside my ethnicity can enjoy that, no problem. You know, we have games for people who like RPGs. We have games for people who like hack and slash. We have games for people who like games like Elden Ring, etc. And that's good and all, but you know, they have to keep the woke ideology and the woke agenda out of our games. And only we have that power to do so. Let me explain. So, I know this video is going to be long. It's whatever. So basically, when Ubisoft came out with For Honor, which is basically like a medieval kind of game, which was amazing. And then there was an issue. The game had a lot of issues. And you know what the fan base did? The fan base said, we will not play this game for an entire month until you fix this game. Because Ubisoft kept ignoring people and whatnot, right? So, what did the fan base do? They legitimately stopped playing the game entirely. They band together and stopped playing the game. And only a week had passed before Ubisoft was like, all right, we're listening. And then they fixed what they had to fix. Then they fucked it up, but eventually. I haven't played it in the past like year, but you know, at the time, they fucked up a character that I enjoyed playing a lot. Because instead of fixing, that's another problem too. Because like these people are so stupid. So you have a character like Peacekeeper from For Honor. She was good. And instead, they nerfed her to fucking shit. To the point that no one wants to play her. It's very rare that you'll find a Peacekeeper on the battlefield unless they buffed her or whatever recently. But and I was like, look, all you had to do was buff your characters to be as good as her, and the game would have been great. But no. Nope. Because devs, that's one way to understand that devs are not the standard for what makes a good game good or not. And they have to stop pretending like they are. That's why they put all this fucking ideology bullshit and politics into video games, because they think that they're someone amazing apparently died and made them the standard of morals and whatnot, because that's what these people think they are. That's all this woke political bullshit is. So let me make another example. Here's why this is true. So Baldur's Gate 3 has to have sex with a bear. Disgusting, by the way. Disgusting. Then it allows you to walk around literally naked. That's not a problem according to these journalist assholes. Not one bit. Not a problem. You have Last of Us, with a big hulking chick that doesn't even resemble a woman, right? Getting bent over and clapped by some feminine looking dude. The whole scene's right there for you to view. Not a problem, according to these woke assholes. Not a problem. Yet Stellar Blade, which is, as you can see, a fun game to play, gets hated for and attacked by these people because you have a sexy female protagonist and she has revealing costumes. So it's okay to fuck a bear, walk around naked, fuck a manly looking chick. Oh, and even Cyberpunk that has sex scenes and whatnot. I forgot to mention that. Those things are okay, but having an Asian attractive female with revealing costume is a problem. That's too far. It's too far for the people who act like they're the moral standard, which they're not. These are people. Most of these people are fucking degenerates. Let's be fucking real. And I don't mean degenerates in a good way. I mean degenerates in a bad way. And they literally sit there with their chest puffed out, thinking that they're the standard of morals and righteousness, apparently. This is the same people that tell you can sell your butthole on the internet for $5.99 a month, and that's okay. They tell you that you're not supposed to judge a female's sexual history, even though she slept with like 200 guys, for example. I'm talking about the females that do. Body count doesn't matter, even though they have their body counts in the hundreds. I don't know how the fuck you get your body count to the hundreds, but that's disgusting. That you basically can't judge because of this, that, and the fourth, right? Body shaming. You can't do that. You can't. Oh, they also claim that you can free the nipple, and that a female can dress however she likes, and all that. And why am I saying this? Because they say all this, and yet have a problem with characters like Eve. How are you not supposed? So they get mad because you body shame, right? Because some people are unhealthy and pretend that it's sexy and hot when it's not. And yet, they body shame Eve. So you're not supposed to shame a female, right, for dressing scandalously skimpy outside of her house, but yet they're over here judging Eve because she has skimpy outfits. You're not supposed to judge a female for her promiscuous nature, right? Or her sex appeal. All right, I talk today apparently again. But yet they shame Eve, characters like Eve, for looking good and being sexually appealing. You can sell your asshole for $5.99 on the internet, but Eve looking this good is a problem. And it's crazy to me because they always try to equate a sexually appealing character like Eve, who is attractive, beautiful, and has some revealing outfits, to adult content. Shit, they even try to say things about kids, which is fucking weird. A female a female character who is based on a 32-year-old, and they gotta bring children into it. They gotta get their hard drives checked, bro. Seriously. And they bring up adult content and touching yourself to, you know, to some chick because she's, you know, sexually attractive in a video game. What? Like, these people are mental. They have mental problems, and we sit here, and people sit here and pretend like these people have something of value to add to society, or to the moral hierarchy, or to morals in general. Like, no, these people are delusional. People like this back in the day used to get made fun of, and no one would take them seriously. There was a reason for that, but now we're pretending like these people are mentally sane enough to give an opinion on anything, let alone society's moral values. But yet, like, don't get me wrong, there are fans that stop playing the game, some, but I'm talking about the fan base as a whole. The fan base as a whole has to stand up against this crap. Vote with their wallets. If they do woke bullshit like this, send the game back. Get your money back. Don't buy the game. Don't play, or if you bought the game and you can't return it, guess what? Don't play the game. Because they can tell when people are playing their games and when they're not. You know what I mean? But no, people just accept this and give you this, Seeker, you should be grateful. Be grateful, please. Be grateful that we got a game. Seeker, you just hate women. Seeker, you just want to watch adult content. Go on the internet and watch it. Why do you need a sexy looking female in a video game? Oh, you're just doing it because you want to touch yourself to the character. Oh, you're sexist. And yet, look at the games that, again, look at the games they claim is okay. Baldur's Gate 3, banging a bear. Last of Us 2, banging some manly looking ass chick that barely resembles a woman. Games allowing them to walk around naked. Like, I don't know what else I can say, but ultimately, the fault is the fan base. It goes back to even real world shit. The reason society is the way that it is because the people who complain and have the right mindset for morals and etc. are always bowing down to the woke ideology because they're afraid to be called stupid fucking names and lose their jobs and etc. because they don't follow the narrative and don't want to. I'm sorry, and I understand not wanting to lose your job or whatever, but I'm sorry, Cupcake and Buttercup. Guess what? Freedom has a price. You want your country and your games to be free from all this political bullshit? There's a price for that, unfortunately. Especially in a society that has this weird fucking idea that they should never fight against, you know, bad morals and etc. Like the woke bullshit, for example. And then always wants to fight when it's too late. Always. They let it get very bad to the point it's too late to fight, just to start fighting when it's too late. Make that make sense to me, because that makes no fucking sense. And I wanted to make this video because I don't ever see any sort of channel saying stuff like this. Like, they'll say a little bit here and there, but they never want to be direct. And that's basically why I became a YouTuber. you know, because I feel that people should listen to someone who is direct with them instead of like trying to sugarcoat shit. And that's the problem with a lot of these channels too, that, you know, they tell you things with a coat of sugar, but when people like me or Fate or etc., you know, decide to tell you the unfiltered truth, we're the bad guys. We're assholes. People want to come and ruin our reputations and etc. and threaten our lives, like they did with Grumps on Twitter. Like, it's crazy. And yet, no one does a goddamn thing. Look, cool. We signed a petition. All right, that worked. But you have to do more than just do a petition. You have to make sure that you hurt these people, not physically. That's not what I meant. Don't take that. Don't harass them. Don't attack them or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. This is not a call to violence or anything like that. You will never hear me say that shit to you guys. You want to hurt these companies where it hurts. You want to take it to the companies where it hurts. And that's financially. Vote with your money is essentially what I'm saying. Hit them where it hurts the most. Their pockets, their money, their income. And sure, we're seeing a lot of games like Suicide Squad lose 100 million or whatever the fuck they lost because their game is so shit. But we have to do this as a collective. As a collective, we have to stand up and basically affect their income by not buying their games, getting refunds, or not playing their games. Because, and I gotta be careful with how I word things, because I don't want YouTube to take this as some kind of like threat or some shit, because you know that these woke assholes always want to turn this into something that was not clearly said. Basically, in short, vote with your money. Don't play their games. Don't buy their games until they understand that we're the ones in charge here in that aspect. I'm not talking about they need to bow to us every time we have an issue, because Mortal Kombat does that and that's not a good thing. They're supposed to make the idea, and I'll probably finish with saying this bit. The idea is that they're supposed to make video games that we can enjoy without none of this political nonsense, none of this woke bullshit, right? That's the idea. Not for them to bow to us with every little whim that we have, because that's not a good idea either, because customers are not always right when it comes to certain things. For example, NetherRealms, every time someone complains about a character in their video games that doesn't probably need to be nerfed, instead of looking to see what people are saying, why are people playing the character, why are people not playing the character, and then coming up with a buff or a nerf for that character, what they do is every time people cry and bitch and moan about how the character is broken and needs to be fixed or nerfed, actually, NetherRealm does that. It's never good to cater to your fans in that sense. Never. You make the game that you want to make, right? But keep the woke bullshit out of it. It's basically what I'm trying to say, right? Keep the woke bullshit out of it, and then you keep the woke stuff out of it, and nerf or buff according to what the devs think that should happen, not according to fans, because that's how you end up ruining a game. You know, keep the esports bullshit out of it. Keep the politics out of it. unless the game requires politics, because there's some games that do have politics, but not the woke nonsense. You know what I mean? Our real life politics should not be affecting our video games ever. The only politics that should be in video games are that world settings when it comes to political stuff. That's it. Not ours. Nothing about like what Mortal Kombat tried to do with Shao Kahn, where basically Shao Kahn is basically Donald Trump. Jax and his whole Wakanda bullshit, and I'm a person of color and I don't even like that. I thought that was fucking racist. That magically all the white people disappeared, but But yeah. Anyways, let me know what you think. That's as far as I got in my head to talk to you guys about. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video because it helps our channel. And remember, hide your white women because Seeker is coming to steal them from you if you don't. Anyways, have a good one. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.